rhomboid table, not round or square or triangle. We come to hang and chat the game on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but tell a lot. We're nice at the rhomboid table, our host is formidable. He runs his trains, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hobby mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Label, quite incomprehensible. Blue wrench in hand, we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the expressed written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey, happy Friday, fellow Knights of the Rhomboid Table. Well met. Come into the hall, grab yourself a cup of mead. Mick the Royal Barkeep is here. As well as all you Knights, to all you Knights watching in the background and all you Knights watching on catch up later. Always appreciate every single one of you. It's just week in and week out. It's amazing, and this has been a crazy week. So let me get to greeting all the Knights that have gathered round, and then we will talk about the week and then get some trains running. All right, Sir Eric from ANC Railroad is here. Sir Andy 81E is here. Great to have you here. Sir Lee from Anfield Road is here. Sir Anthony from Middleport Junction is here. Sir Artie from Aus America Railroading is here. By the way, Artie, I am on for tomorrow, right? It's on my channel tomorrow. Sir Anthony from Choberton Junction, representing the Anthonys. Woohoo! Sir Colin of Wykes is here. Sir Digger Evans is here. Sir Andy. So we've got our share of the amazing Andys on here. The hot dog pilot, Sir Jean Ricard, is here and awake for now. Sir John Benicki is here. Sir Leslie Gilpin, great to have you. Sir Lyndon from Lindtree Town and Trains, welcome in, welcome in. Sir Mick, as mentioned, is here. Somebody just popped in. Sir Ifo Fanzon, I believe, just commented on the board. Welcome in, Sir Ifo, our Royal Encyclopedia librarian, mystic and swami. Hope he appreciates all those terms. Sir Randall of Ellison, Sir Simon from SJ Train World is here. Sir Dirk from Southern Cross Rail System is here. The CEO of the night, Sir Tim of Dowd, is here. Sir Tom Couples is here. Welcome in, welcome in. And Sir Chris from the Valleys is here. Great to have you all here. Just a crazy week. Let's deal with just some of the things that came up in the world. I'll talk about the outer world and then my world. Obviously, in the model train community, especially the American model train community, there was a bit of a kerfuffle because one of these podcasts, and I don't remember the name and don't even want to bother. I know which podcast it wasn't. I don't listen to any podcast. I don't subscribe to the places that have podcasts, and I don't listen to any, whether they're good or bad. So, but they decided to be a little bit of assholes and insulted somebody from, I believe, the NMRA, and probably because she was a woman. They deservedly got all their sponsorships pulled. Their apology was kind of half-assed at best, what I read, because once I heard about it, I went and listened to the controversial section and read the apologies and the comments that everybody was involved so I could make some sort of informed decision. And yeah, that, you know, we live in a country where we want to talk about free, or we live in a world, we want free speech, the ability to say, but free speech has never, ever been about you can say what you want without repercussion. It means you can say it. But companies have the right to say, you know what, we don't want to do business with you if that's how you're going to talk. And other people have the right to use their free speech and tell you that what you said was bull crap. It's not censorship when somebody says something a lot of people don't like. You can keep going on your podcast and say whatever crap you want to say. It's not wokeism. It's not liberalism. It's repercussions. This is the problem. Too many people want their rights without the responsibilities. And more importantly, the accountability. They want to be able to say what they want and not have repercussions for what they say. I can say I don't like a certain eye color, but all the people with that eye color have the right to come at me and tell me, well, F you. They have the right to not listen to me. And if a business says, you know what, you're too controversial, we don't like what you say, then they have the right to pull that. And, hey, Sir Curly. Welcome in, Sir Clive of Newland. Welcome in. So, you know, I mean, we can say what if, but free speech is a two-way street. It doesn't mean you get to say what you want without repercussions if what you say annoys people. Oh, everybody's too sensitive. Everybody gets too offended these days. No, not everybody gets too offended. But a lot of stuff we used to get away with saying that was always offensive, people now feel brave enough to call you out on your crap. That's the problem. In the 1950s, some people could get away with saying their crap. There were a lot of people watching and listening like, you know, I can't say anything because society's built where I have to keep my mouth shut and not speak out and defend myself. So I just have to take it. And some people think that's when the world was better. I like a world where people say, you know what? I don't like what you say. I'm not going to shut you down, but I'm not going to listen to you. You can go and have your podcast. You can go and say the stupidity you want to say. I don't have to listen to it, and businesses don't have to be associated with you. They can say, you know what? What you say goes against what we see as our business model. And it's not being woke. It's not being overly offended. It's called free speech in both directions. So that's all I'll say about that. Hey, Sir Andy of March West Junction. So now we have at least as many Andys as we do Anthony's. Till shortcake gets in. And shortbread, I mean, not shortcake. Okay, so anyhow, that was that. I thought I'd throw my 2 cents in because other people have already gone laboriously long. But a couple of people asked me, did I catch it? I'm like, yeah, I'll just talk about it on my live stream and move on. All right, let's talk about
happier things. Many of you may know I was out of touch with the world the last 2 days. I was in the hospital yesterday having surgery. Basically a colonoscopy. Some people are uncomfortable talking about. I have. The problem is I have growths, because when you have a colonoscopy, there's basically 3 types of growths you can have. You can have internal hemorrhoids, you can have polyps, and you can have tumors. I've had all 3, and I get them a lot. And sometimes I'm very uncomfortable with it, sometimes even while I'm doing a live stream. I've had tumors removed. Fortunately, the tumors have been malignant. I had 1 tumor and 1 polyp yesterday, and then other stuff. And they went in to get samples and make sure everything was fine. Everything is fine inside. We're waiting for the biopsies on what they took out, but I expect it to be fine. But it's been tough because I've had anybody that's had the reasons you need for a colonoscopy. I call them episodes. I had a lot of bad episodes through December and January. And it took forever to get into the endoscopy colonoscopy clinic and get checked out. By the time they checked out, they said, well, unfortunately, we didn't find a lot of scar tissue from your previous episodes, but we did find this and this and this. So we cut this out, and we sent these things off for biopsy. So that's what I went through. And there he is. Shortbread is here, so now the Andes outnumber the Anthonys. We'll have to get... Hey, Sir James of Dundas Junction, welcome in. And Sir Andy, the Shortbread Express. And then on the even better news, because the outcome of the surgery is I'm fine. I've been sort of still... I don't get sick from... anesthesia. I don't get sick. I tend to wake straight up and I'm wide awake, and then I crash and then I wake up. So last night was not a fun night sleeping, just because I was awake and then out and then wide awake and out, wide awake and out. And then today I've just been trying to take it easy and relax. Try to get ready. Now, the other big news, of course, is last Sunday I released a video about changing the, well, here, let's go to this camera. I changed the turnouts I had there. Last live stream, I had turnouts there. Now I have double slips. And they are much cleaner, much nicer. Things when I'm changing lanes are much smoother. And I'm thrilled I finally did this after being nagged by several people. Jean Ricard probably being the most consistent nag. But I did it. It allowed me to fix a couple of problems. And they weren't real problems. My trains ran fine. They were aesthetic problems. They were things that I just didn't like how they looked. Now, if I go to this other camera, you will see that I've got a lot of work yet to do. If you look down there, you will see that the platforms, the Bremen platforms, are all gone except for one. I have to build new platforms. I want to make them different length and different height than what I had there, because the way I rearranged my track lines, the old platforms were needed shortened down, but I just want to get new platforms anyhow. So it's a nice, cleaner look there. I'm very happy. I've got an area over here, and I was just talking to Jean Ricard, and we came up with another idea somewhere else where I still want to, because those double slips up there actually run the opposite direction of the turnouts that I did have there. I called those descending because they go from lane 1 down to lane 5, and originally they came up from lane 5 to lane 1. It made it easier for me to bring trains out of the Bremen parking area, circle around, and then get up to lanes 3, 4, and 5. So I have to replace those. I have to replace and the best way to do it is right here, but there's a problem with right here, so we're going to split. We're going to do a couple of them here and a couple of them over there, and we're going to change a lot of what's over in that area. So some of that I'll probably do this weekend, but I'm on hold with the major changes until I can afford to buy 2 or 3 more double slips, because I'm debating on whether to do something else with a double slip, so I'll get a third one. Hey, Sir Michael of McCarville is here. Welcome in. And is that Simon as in SJ, or did one of the other Simons come in? Sir Tom Houston is here. Welcome in. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with that. There is one minor problem, which is one of the double slips I've got. Apparently, one of the rails is messed up. So when I close it for curves, it's not shutting properly. And I know before people start typing, oh, check this, I already know what the problem is. The rail, the way it sits in, and I don't have one to show you an example of, but the way it sits in on, Jean Ricard calls it the tongue. I call it the little arm, the pivot arm that goes back and forth to move the rails. Where the one rail connects to it, it's a little peg, piece of metal peg that fits in. Either the rail is bent down or the peg is messed up because it keeps popping out of the little space that holds it to swivel it. So when it's open and stays open for straight, it's not a problem. But when I want to use it to curve, it's not. So I'm going to I've already ordered another double slip that I'll replace it with because it is just one little issue on one turnout. It's not, or double slip, but I'll fix that up. Because I was trying to film a video to show me setting up this live stream so I could, continue the story. Because the video, that's what I want to talk about. Wow. The video for my double slip. Now, I know some of you will go, psst, I get that in a week on all my videos. I am at 4,700 views, and it's the first video to get 4,000 views in a week outside of one short ever on my channel. In a week, it's got less than a week, 5 days, it's got 4,600 views. Just wow. And it's still growing. And it says, according to the analytics, I have gained 45 subscribers just from that video. Because my subscriptions, I probably have added close to 90 subscribers this week. It's been a huge week, so for me, that's positive. The only fear is, and I'm not reading the chat, so if you're commenting at me, I apologize. You'll have to get my attention by, if you can, use the @ symbol. My apologies. Hey, Sir Daz is here. Welcome in, Daz. Great to have you here. But yeah, I'm just blown away that video, because I'm always talking about how, if I'm lucky, a video gets 250 to 300 views. So this one caught the right wave, and 4,700 views in 5 days. That's been good. No one angry, I got 3 dislikes, but 1 angry comment, and somebody was just so pissy. I just, normally I would take that as a chance to get into a verbal argument, but I was like, nope. I'm just going to delete the comment. But one guy was just really pissy and he apparently felt the need to point out that he was a mechanical engineer. Well, of course you're going to have derailments. You're trying to violate the laws of physics, you stupid blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, I didn't have derailments. I said it could lead to derailments, and that a couple of cars on 2 particular trains would occasionally derail with the way I had it. But everybody else ran fine. It ran fine for how many years it's been since I've set up this arrangement? 5+ years. It ran 5. This is just cleaner and neater. It's aesthetically better. It looks nicer. But my other system worked. It just had potential to create problems. I didn't have those problems. People need to use their ears before they start typing on something. Hey, Sir Steve Childers, welcome in. So anyhow, I'm very happy with that. But so yeah, it's been a crazy week, both in my personal world. I don't feel too bad. I've been tired, and also the way they now do the prep. I had not eaten since 4 o'clock on Tuesday until 4. So I went 48 hours without food. Now, obviously, that's not starvation, but it was to me. I was hungry. I woke up, get me out of this hospital, and I went. And, I've been on a diet. I once weighed close to 300 pounds, and I got myself down to 228. I'm currently around 235. Actually, I got myself down to 225. I'm now around 235, but I tend to put on a bit of weight over the winter. And I've been trying to get back to a steady working out to bring that weight down again, because I don't want to ever get over, I don't want to be over 235. anyhow, I went to my favorite greasy burger joint and got 2 double cheeseburgers because I was starving. I figured that was making up for all the meals I missed. I know that's bad logic, I know, but I did. So anyhow, enough of that, and I will try to catch up with chat. It's just always wonderful. Wow, we've got 46 people in here already. Please hit the like button. Last week, Daisy forgot to ask people to hit the like button, so we did not have as many likes as we normally have, or maybe my live stream just sucked last week, because normally we get 50 to 60 likes, and we only had like 35 likes last week on the live stream, and I blame Joyce. Why blame myself when I can blame Joyce? Especially when she's not here. She forgot to do the hit the like button, gentlemen, and I think people wait for her to say that. They like that encouragement. Or pseudo-dominatrix stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, so anyhow, let's see what trades I'm running today. I apologize. I really was scrambling Wednesday morning to set everything up. I have not test run trains other than a couple of laps each. Normally I run them for about 10 minutes. So things could go very wrong. But again, I apologize because Wednesday I was preoccupied with getting ready for surgery. And I didn't have a lot of time because by noon I had to start prepping, and once you start prepping you can't be anywhere else than where you need to be. So anyhow, so hopefully the test results will come back. We'll find out maybe even today. I haven't checked my email because I don't want to see anything, especially if it's bad news, before I do my live stream. So yeah, let's go. And by the way, I saw Sir Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Blog was here earlier. By the way, Christopher, I finally, after a week's delay, week and a half's delay, so my apologies. I feel like a real bastard for it, but I finally mailed off your decals the other day, Wednesday before, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I forget which, but I mailed them earlier this week. Wednesday and Thursday are a blur right now. So anyhow, let's go and see what I'm running today, because I hadn't even decided on UK trains until like an hour ago. All right, so what we are running, it's all double-deckers today. So I am running the IC2 double-decker, and away it goes, pulled by a class 146.5. And then I am running freight, pulled by a Märklin 218. So a Märklin 218 pulling my container freight train. Hey, Sir Dave the Kiwi, welcome in. And Sir Hi, welcome in. Anybody else I missed, please let me know that I missed you. I don't like to miss people. Okay, then I am running my Twindexx Vario double-decker, one of my favorite model trains by Brawa. I'm quite loving this little 4-car set. Joyce and I rode one in Freiburg to somewhere in 2023. And then just to appease Jean Ricard, I am running the Metronom, and I am running it control cab first. Pulled by a 146.2. And then I got to go over on the computer here and get to my other set of controls. I am running a class 143, pulling a bunch of double-deckers, Märklin. No, those are the hobby trade double-deckers. Whoops. Okay. What was that hiccup? Huh. That was weird. And then way in the background, I have a class 102, 109. But 102 in the German nomenclature. Ah, Mora King. Why are you not knighted? I thought you were here last week. But we will get you knighted in just a second. I got one more train to get rolling. But it's some more double-deckers. But, yeah, I think it was something in my container freight train. One of the cars sounded like it bumped or something, so we'll see next time around. So, anyhow, let's night Mara. I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid table. All right, Mara, you can now share your channel if you have content or anybody else's channel, as long as it's hobby, any kind of hobby, positive, good hobby related. You know, if the hobby is molesting koala bears, save that for the Australians. Otherwise, just no religion, politics, but anything that's good, comedy channels, anything you want to share. Everybody's knighted here. Oh, all right. Maura Curran was in here last week, and now Maura King. Gotcha. And Sir Raymond Legs is here. Hello, Sir Raymond. Great to have you here. Another one of our European train librarians in a Warhammer 40K sense of the term. But, so yeah, that's the six trains running today. I'm just gonna blame everything on my surgery yesterday. Well, I've got Danish-made double-deckers. Hobby Trade made beautiful coaches. When I first got in the hobby, I saw Metronoms by Hobby Trade and Deutsche Bahn Regio Bahns by Hobby Trade, and even some Schleswig-Holstein, whatever that, the S&H, the SAH cars by Hobby Trade, and I thought they were the prettiest double-decker coaches by any company. Roco, Märklin, anybody. I thought they were just the sharpest, and I couldn't afford them then. I couldn't find a shop that had them in stock, but obviously Hobby Trade went partially under, and Roco bought out their some of their stock and re-released it. So that's what I've got here. Now again, last week on Artie's stream, I was messing around with one train running through the turnouts a certain way, but I have not run trades. I did not get a chance to truly run trains to catch if anything is really wrong. I just ran each train a couple of times to make sure there was no obvious derailment issues. So I'm fully expecting some things to go wrong today just because I didn't get a chance to triple check everything. Yes, and yeah, Simon, I love that because, again, I loved Hobby Trade. They were the sharpest double-decker coaches I saw anywhere, and I just wish I could have bought them when they were originally. But, you know, if Roco still, because what I bought was made by Hobby Trade, and then it was just sitting in their warehouses, and Roco bought it and re-released it. So they're you know, they're not just made with the made with the Hobby Trade tooling. They were made by Hobby Trade. Now the new ones are the Hobby Trade tooling made by Roco, if that makes any sense. You get it, I'm sure. Evo. Thanks, Evo. Yeah, I could run at Steuerwagen first. I could, but I decided not to. Instead of running at Steuerwagen first, I decided to run at Steuerwagen first. I wasn't going to run at Steuerwagen first. I decided to run at Steuerwagen first. So, could become a problem for... How so, Simon? I'm curious to hear how you think that'd be a problem. This stream is getting expensive. Hey, don't blame me for what you're buying. If you're buying stuff you're seeing on my stream, then you can blame me. Yeah, I thought their lighting was just gorgeous. I could sit here and go on forever. Uh-oh. We had a separation here. Again, I don't need to turn the whole thing off. I just need to shut the one train off. Huh, that's weird. Why are you doing that? We had an uncoupling in that Brawa. Not sure why that happened. Hey, Bravo, what's the matter, you? Why are you derailing? Or uncoupling, I should say. That's weird for those to uncouple. Uh-oh, I can hear that one dude going off on me now. See, I told you they were crap. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I have to double check this. Let's change direction real fast. Aha. Interesting. All right, well, let's just... Huh. This is not the best place to do this. Let's get that little... There we go. All right, let's see how you do. Now stay together. Okay. And let's start moving some camera views, shall we? That's why nobody saw that separated, did it off camera. Let's go to the bridge view there where you can see everybody going. Now I'm going to have to keep an eye, but yeah, that was weird. The Brawa separated in the middle with those pin connectors. You just found a motor for your Mahano RS2 diesel. Well, congrats. Clintonville. Welcome in again, Clintonville. So, okay. You spent some money for something there. 1K. Woo. Hey, did I see Sir Erich und Willi from Bandan Eisenbahn? Servus, Gusti. Another awesome channel. If you are not subscribed to Bandan Eisenbahn, click on the 3 dots next to their chat line and click on where it says go to channel and subscribe. Especially if you like German trains and lots of fun, family, father, son, Opa in there. Makes me jealous. Oh, and see, I didn't get a chance to do that. Today marks the 4-year anniversary that my grandson Kyan first appeared on YouTube as a 9-week-old. It was February 7th of 2020. He was born December 20th of 2020, and it was 2021 he showed up. He showed up on Sidetrack Sunday, I believe it was. He made a guest appearance because Rick Bailey, who was part of Sidetrack Sunday at the time, was doing his Pass the Throttle challenge. And so we, as a joke, grabbed one of my Mobile Station 2 and had Kyan down here as a 7-week-old baby just in her, you know. And but the funny thing is, I don't know if I could find the video. I don't know if I have the video on this computer or not. I doubt it, but I could. I forget which video I have it on. Check your reply up in the chat. Okay. Because when Hobby Trade went under, the estate was bought by a Danish manufacturer. I heard that. And in the legal inventory list is the serial number for the tooling that Roco has used on the factory in China. Uh-oh. Now I see why it's a problem. Okay. And there is Frau van den Eisenbahn. K-Guns is here. Aha, so that's why. And yes, that would be very problematic. Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. The drivers on the floor are not out on strike. Their boss is mentally incompetent. So let's go down to floor cam and see what I decide to run today. We are running the Azuma Class 800. Da 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 da. And we are running the Scotrail again. So there we go. Sorry about that, all my UK Freds. I literally just got those on track about 10 minutes before I came live. Yeah, that wire's low enough. Oh, that's cool, Simon. I would look forward to it. Because I had heard, like Hobby Trade, the name is still there. Like, there's some element of the company they're still running as Hobby Trade. But I can't keep up with that stuff. Well, hello, Reg GFX. Welcome in, welcome in. And let's knight you, Reg GFX. I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid table. Reg GFX, if you are new to this channel or haven't watched before, you are now knighted. You are now a fellow knight of the Rhomboid table. You have a royal blue spanner in hand. You may now post a link to your channel or anybody else's channel you want to post a link to. Comedy related, train related, anything except politics or religion. We do not talk politics. We do not talk religion. What do I use for my live streams? I use OBS into YouTube. I use OBS. Now, on Saturdays, when I'm doing the Wacky Weekend show, which is Artie's show, normally on Artie's channel, but for various reasons, we're splitting right now, so it'll be on my channel tomorrow. Then I use StreamYard, but I bring OBS into StreamYard. Okay, most UK trains still use the D-ring. At least Hornby and Bachmann tend to use the D-ring, but now they're on NEM couplings, so you can pop them out and put whatever couplings you want in. Now, certain special trains, for example, this Azuma high-speed train, the white and red stripe one right below me now, that one has, it's not NEMS, but it's a little prong coupling, you know, a scissor coupling like this, a pressure coupling that goes in and then latches this way. But otherwise, like I took the hook couplings and D-rings off of my Hornby stuff and I replaced it with Roco universal couplings. So I don't use any of the knuckle couplings or any KD coupling, you know, so I don't use any of that. I'm not familiar with any of that. I use the European couplings, basically the RelX, the Telex, basically variations of, well, let me go to big screen. So I apologize that I'm going to make myself larger and cut off the trains, but this is a Märklin coupler. RelX, but it's very similar to what's called the Roco universal coupler, and then it just fits in. So this is what I tend to use, but then my Märklins, a lot of my Märklins, do I have one here? No, I don't. I mean, I've got them down here. Then Märklin has what are called its closed couplings, also known, I think they're called A couplings. I could be totally wrong, but I think that's what they're called. Nope, that's those. They're not in here. They're not in here. That's the other imitations. Come on, where are they? Where are they? Not there. Oh, there they are. But Jean Ricard or Raymond Legs or somebody, like, I think these are called A couplings. I could be wrong, but they're also known as Märklin close couplers. And they're all the same idea. You got a little tongue that sits in here, and the hook goes over it, and then the pressure point comes down to keep it from bouncing off. The Sargent coupler looks more realistic than the KD. I can't get into that. I don't pay attention to what realistic couplers are. I mean, I look at, for example, I know like Peter Dixon has done some chain couplers that look, you know, like, well, these trains had chain couplers, so that's what he uses. So I think that's really cool. Let's go to the multi-view for a second. Uh-oh, what's this? What's this? Artie, I'm sorry, I missed it. Good news? Did you have good news? Oh, that's great to hear, Artie. How did you try to call me? My phone never rang. Or I didn't even have a missed call from Artie. Uh-oh. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We've had a disaster down below. Talk amongst yourselves, kids, while I have to go fix this. Yeah, I do like to run trades. Well, multi-view, you can watch all the trades going, but you can see down below, for some reason, this darn thing uncoupled and then crashed and then created a bigger issue. What tarnation's going on down here? Oh, my hinder. Did I just mess up that camera? Probably. I got too many tripods down here. All right, let's see what I can get over here easily. Probably not much. There. What in the hell? What is with coming undone here? And while I'm under here, let's grab me. Okay. Stupid drawer. New tool, kids. Let's see how things go now. Sorry about that, my friends. I hate to look like an idiot, but I did not get a chance to test run everything. Wednesday was surgery prep. Yesterday was surgery. And today's home, just kind of dealing with it all. So my apologies that things are not functioning as smoothly as I would like. All right, did I see Simon's SJ has to take off? I made a video about what? I made video about lots of things. Oh, the OBS tutorial, how to get OBS into StreamYard. Yeah, I've got a video that's like 6 videos back on my main feed. Maybe I can, or if somebody beats me to it, they can post a link to it off my channel. Da 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 da. Ah! God, Anthony Dodge, why do you have to have such a loud, obnoxious song on everything?
Under the service now platform.
We don't need commercials. I do everything I can to prevent commercials on my live stream. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? So here we go. So there is a link to my video on adding OBS to StreamYard. But you got to understand how to use OBS. Now, I have a series from a couple of years ago on for total beginners that walks you very slowly, step by step, on setting up OBS. There are much shorter, faster videos, but I try to cover every base. But anyhow, there's that. Hey, Sir Carl from Bangotcher Junction, and Sir Alan Reynolds is here. Hello, Sir Alan, the one and only amazing guy. Oh, Randall, you are not loud nor obnoxious. You are one of the easygoing, most easygoing, smoothest people in the model train community. If everybody in the model train community were like you, Randall, it would be a perfect community. Uh-oh. What are you trying to tell me, YouTube Studios? Because so far everything on my end says it's good, but all of a sudden I got a warning. Let me see if something's coming up. I'm not seeing any issues elsewhere. No, I'm not giving you credit. We all have our bad side. We all have our dark side. But when it comes to being on YouTube, you do everything you can to be polite, to be respectful. Even I can't say that. I have my days where I get a little Just one little ring of death flash. Interesting. Oh, if we only had this in the 80s, back in the Tyco days. Well, I might have gotten into the train hobby. As everybody here knows, everybody could just tell the story, and I could just sit here and go, yep, that's right. I got my first train set, Christmas 1969, a Tyco Super Santa Fe Super Chief War Bonnet set with Baby Ruth boxcar and a couple of Santa Fe trailer, you know, whatever you call a trailer car. Flatbed with a couple of semi-trailers on it, and a caboose. And there was one other thing on it, but anyhow, I played with it maybe 2 to 4 times. It went in a circle and it did nothing, and it did nothing for me. Plus, we moved a couple of years later, and the house we moved into, I didn't have room in my bedroom that I share with my brother, which is actually a walk-in closet converted to a bedroom. My brother and I had a bunk bed and a dresser, and there's about 20 inches in between. So I couldn't even set up the oval track there, but it did nothing for me. So I never got into model trains, never played with model trains. I was in my 50s. I had spent many years traveling by train in Germany with my students. We would go to Germany every year as an exchange program. And we went everywhere by train because it was fast, easier, and cheaper than anything else. And I just fell in love with trains. And so I bought a model train to use in my classroom. It was too nice. Joyce said, keep it home and get a cheaper one for your classroom. And that's what we did. And it turned into this monstrosity. Hey, there's Sir Dominic. Dominic, are you paying attention to the big die-cast show that's going on, or the toy fair in is it Dresden last week? No, not Dresden. What was the big toy show last? Essen, Dortmund, Dresden? Where was it? Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully they'll like what they see. I run Central European trains, so Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. I do have one. I also have 00 trains I run on the floor. So let's start going through some of the close-ups. We'll follow this guy around. That's up the ramp cam, and now he's coming through the Delmenhorst station. So now you can see the whole side. This is called Delmenhorst, which is an actual city in Germany. Whoops. Now he's coming around that way. Now he's coming up here. Now he's coming through here. The 4K cam. The bridge view. The workstation cam. The 11-lane view. The Joyce view. The Bremen corner view, the Bremen Bahnhof view, except there's not really a Bremen Bahnhof there anymore, and then the long view, and you'll see it coming up, and then it goes all the way up to the first camera. So on the floor I have some UK 00 stock, because after traveling in the UK in 2022, we found some UK trains we really liked. I had been watching UK channels for a few years by that point, and so there were definitely some UK trains I liked, and so I've got a few of those. Do I have a helix under the table? No. The picture you see in the upper left-hand corner there, that's down here. That's what's down here next to me. And then under this side is toy and tool storage and all sorts of other things. All right, did I see Anthony MJ has to take off? All right, so YouTube is apparently having its own problem, but everything's looking good here. That might be why. Go back to live, darn you. Kickline has its own stunt show back in 1999. That's right. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Diecast Dude, who I know you follow, Diecast Dude went to one of the big diecast shows this past weekend and has posted a couple of videos from it. Do I like Class 37? Andrew, if you're talking to this Anthony and not one of the other Anthonys, how do I feel about Class 37s? Sometimes I think they're utilitarian and not that pretty, but if you get them in the right livery, For example, I love them if they have the old Euro Phoenix livery still, which is now the Rail Operations Group, but still has the red Phoenix on it. When it's in that livery, I love it. I think they look awesome in that livery. There's also a couple of other liveries that are, I think, also from Rail Operations Group that I think they look good in. In DRS liveries, they can be good, but in other liveries, I think they look a little bit meh, you know. So sometimes it's all about the livery. All right, hi. Well, thank you for stopping in and hanging out for a bit. I really appreciate it. All right, well, I'm here every Friday. Thanks for stopping by. You might consider going to it. Well, that's how I am. One of the things I'd like to do is, well, the same thing, but in two different situations. When Joyce and I go to Germany in a few months, like I think we're less than 4 months away from leaving for Germany. Oh, crap, let's see. March, April, May, June. Yeah, less than 4 months. We'll be at Germany. Oh my goodness, he separated again. What is going on with this guy? Why is he just uncoupling out of the blue? And where's your better half? Dude, you are annoying me. What the heck is going on with you? Do I have to just take you off and stop you? Yeah, I think you can see this. This is the second time this guy is uncoupled. All right, to put this on, I am going to have to stop everything for a second. I don't know what's going on with my Brawa, but this is the second time it's uncoupled. Gotta get it over the ski here. Come on. I don't think that worked for me very well there. All right, dude. Why are you uncoupling? Ugh. All right, where's my coupler level? I'll tell you what, while I'm performing surgery here, you guys can watch the guy on the floors spin around in circles. Oh. What is going on with you? That was the second time today. You've never done this. And it's weird that you're doing it. I mean, again, this could be related to some of the work I did recently. Because it is on lane 3, and lane 3 is the one that's got the bad coupler. Or bad handle. Interesting. All right, let's get everybody back in motion. We're back in business. Oh. Huh. Oh, what is going on here today? Huh. Hey, Metronom, what's on? Huh. This is not good. Okay, Metronom, now we need you to go the other way. There you go. Okay, there is something wrong with my Regio here. All right, well, I'm going to take you off for now. I know everybody's looking at me going, what the hell are you doing? But for now, I'm going to take this off and find out what's going wrong with it. And we'll have to pick out somebody else to run. Don't want to set that there. I wonder why you're acting up. Oh, where can I set the other half? Where can I set this guy? We'll just set him here for now and figure out why you're acting up. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I mean, the 37 is such a major, vibrant, important part of the UK train world. It is one of the classic icons, especially of the diesel world, but just in general, it's an icon. Of course, I didn't grow up with it. I didn't grow up with any trains. My trains were the things that were keeping me late to school and late to work, or late to get somewhere I was trying to get to. That was my only interaction with trains, was driving somewhere and getting stopped at a train stop and going, oh my God, why is it taking 10 minutes? You know, losses. You know, I was one of those people. So let me pick a different train that I can put on lane 3 quickly so that we can still have all lanes in motion. Whom shall I pick? Who will it be? I think some of you might like this one. I'm going to stop all the trades for a minute, so forgive me while I do this. But this guy hasn't been seen in a little while on the layout, so let's have some fun. I'll leave him as a surprise. Sometimes it just can't be helped. Now, where did I set the others? There we go. There we go. Oh, ho. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, no, you're right. Almost there, people. Almost there. My apologies. Like I said, it's just going to be on those crazy bits today. I don't think you're connected how you should be. That's better. That looks better. All right, look, you got people to show off for. So stop wasting time and go show off. Quit being difficult. Whoops. Dang it. I'll put it with the other one that I accidentally broke off. All right, are we gonna work? Are we gonna work? I can turn everybody. Oops, you're not online. You're not on rail. There we go. All right, I'll get everybody else back in motion now. And I just gotta put this guy in the controller. And then I gotta look up which one he is. So, like I said, sorry that things are a little less than smooth today, but it just proves we're all part of it. EP36. Oh, there he is. Are you ready to go, fella? All right, let everybody check you out. All right, here's what I'm replacing that Brawa Regio with. So it's not a double-decker, but oh well. Here he comes chugging around the corner. You'll see him any second. There he is. That little EP36, Bavarian EP36. Just to break the everything else. Oh. Dude, why are you off? You should be over here. You should be over here. There we go. It's gonna be one of those days. Oh. Okay. Who knows? Maybe we'll get through half an hour of things smooth. Indeed, I figured it would be a popular one. An Arrow 1 Bavarian EP36. He hasn't been on the live stream in a while. I'm just wondering if the Brawa was having troubles with that one turnout that I said was problematic, because it was lane 3. But why he's suddenly uncoupling, I don't know. So I have to take a look at him after the show today. You intend to retreat to Moscow? From where you're at, Andy, that's an advancement, not a retreat. Indeed. Now, the funny thing is, there's probably a guy who hates me and my channel that is in hysterics right now. Because he went at me for post after post when I first got this Brawa and said how I loved it. And I still love it. So why it's acting up, I don't know. Confused? You will be after this week's episode of Soap. Indeed. Uh-oh. They brought up the TH and B. That means James is involved. Chris, you're off to Egypt? That's not a place I want to go either. Seeing the pyramids and that would be cool. Seeing all, I love Egyptian mythology and history, but Egypt is deserts, just deserts. I have no desire to go to deserts. Hot and nothing there, which is maybe their appeal to some people, but I've been through deserts. I've been through deserts in Arizona, New Mexico, and even Wyoming. Not big Sahara sand dune deserts, but deserts. You did get the turbo train. Nice. I do like that turbo train. I think it is a very sweet piece of machinery. I could get into some Canadian trains. Heading off around the bend. And did I see Kieran is here? Hello, Kieran, Sir Kieran. Yeah, I mean, my world travel is very limited. My world travel, very limited. But I am lucky to have been able to travel as I have. Life gave me a nice turn, and I was able to travel from 2003. I had been to Canada, but the first time I left the continent, never been to Mexico. I've been to 46 of the 50 states. Actually, no, it should be 47 now because I've been to Hawaii, even if only for a day or part of a day. But I've been in Hawaii now. Yes, I saw that. It was funny that Jim went out and got it. I didn't expect him to, but then why wouldn't have I expected him to? Now, he got a good version. He didn't get the most expensive version of it, but he got an expensive version. I mean, they've got one version that's $1,600. But he definitely spent more than 900 pounds to get that. Easily. Probably over 1,000 pounds to get that. Unless he got a real good deal on it. But yeah, 2003 to 2017, every year, spent a month in Germany. 2003 to 2016 with my students. 2017, just Joyce and me by ourselves. 2018, we didn't travel because Joyce had knee surgery. 2019, we went back to Germany. 2020, 2021 was COVID and we couldn't travel. Although I saw Americans who did travel, and I'm pissed how they got to travel. And I mean, they were in Germany traveling, and I'm like, wait a minute, Germany's got borders closed, and Americans aren't allowed to go overseas, and yet these are Americans in Germany. They must have been there for a while. I don't know, maybe working in Germany or something like that. But anyhow, so 2022, Joyce said she wanted to change, so we went to the UK. And we spent a week in each of the 3 countries of the UK. At least a week. We did Wales for a week. We did Scotland for a week. And then the UK in a couple of different places for a week. But we were in Cardiff, Bangor, Wales, Liverpool and York, England. And then Edinburgh, Scotland. And Stirling, Scotland. And then we came in and left from London, but we didn't spend a lot of time in London. All right, John Benicki, thank you for hanging out. Bonjour, Titi Harry. Tous le monde. Or in your case, I should say bonsoir if I didn't say bonsoir. Bonsoir. Bonsoir, mon ami. Comment ça va? All right, let's change cameras. Just time. We'll watch this freighter come through. Daz, I would stay a long time in Liverpool, especially where I was in Liverpool. Joyce and I lived a week on Bold Street in the heart of the cool part of Liverpool. That was awesome. That was happiness every day. But just in case, and by golly, you better know, and Mick's gonna have my back, and he's ex-military, so he knows how to have my back. But just in case you forget, Mo, Liverpool, mofo, Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. Liverpool. Up the Reds. Liverpool, damn it. Liverpool. All the way. Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley, Ian Rush, Michael Owen to Mo Salah. And I got a Mo Salah jersey upstairs. I should wear it. You live in Manchester. Yeah, Manchester. Hey, Sir Andy Puff Candy Dobson, how are you? You just lost your best friend yesterday. I totally am sorry and sympathize for you. You need to go back to work, but you'll be lurking. All right, Sir Eric, have a great day. Close enough, Red, for sure, Andy81E. I'm really sorry to hear that, Andy. Anybody who knows my story knows I empathize greatly. Ronnie Whelan, yeah. Ray Houghton, yeah. John Aldridge. Good. Your big 50-kilo American Bulldog. That's a big bulldog. Really sorry to hear that. Alan, if I had mates arriving here with beer, I'd probably keep the live stream going, but the live stream would get very entertaining. But you go hang out with your mates. Thank you for hanging with us. It is always appreciated, always an honor to have you here. Dirty Lindsay, Dirty Smith. My problem is my family, because I was always Liverpool when we'd play all the electronic games, you know, the electronic football games. I was always Liverpool, so like my one daughter is a Man United fan, my other daughter's an Arsenal or Chelsea fan, just whoever's doing better, that's who she follows, but she's definitely more Arsenal than Chelsea. So she's been rather quiet the last few years. Oh, she couldn't wait for Arsene Wenger to be fired, and now that he's gone, I wonder if she regrets wanting that, because they have not been the same since Wenger left. My son is Newcastle United. And because I just grew up a Liverpool fan, I didn't grow up hating. To be honest, I hate to say it, I'm going to bother Daz, I think. The only team I dislike is Man City, because they keep winning the title, because Liverpool keeps choking and Man City passes us and wins the league championship the last few years. But really, it's on Liverpool for choking. I don't know how many times while he was coach that Jurgen Klopp, Christmas time, first place, 5 points up, 7 points up, 8 points up, and then by the end of January, they're in second or third place because they would just go into the doldrums. Now, Arns had a couple of rough games. He tied one and pulled one out and won, but again, that same January slump. Now, February, they're playing well again. They just had a big win in the Carabao Cup yesterday, 4-0 over Tottenham. I used to like you, Mick. Shows Manchester's a better team. Well, they've been a better team lately, for sure. And, of course, at one time, Liverpool had the most league titles, and then they went that 30 years without winning a league title, and Man United had all those years where they were just dominant. But because I didn't grow up with the regional hate. It's not like here where I'm an Ohio State fan and I hate Michigan. Or I'm a Cleveland Browns fan and I hate Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens. I hate them more than I hate the Steelers. Otherwise, I don't have the rival. I just love Liverpool and I want them to win. So everybody's a rival. Yeah, I do get a little worked up, but actually Liverpool's held its own against Man City head-to-head. They've actually had a winning record against Man City head-to-head. The problem is Liverpool will beat Man City 3-1, and then they'll play North Sheffield United court team and either tie 1-1 or lose 1-0. That's like, you just beat Man City, and then you lose to this schmuck of a team. Come on. They play down to their opponents. They always seem to have that attitude, like, oh, we can beat this team with our eyes closed. And then they try to play with their eyes closed. Oh, that's American football, Andy. That is American football. You get one play that lasts about 8 seconds, 5 replays, commercial break, timeout, penalty, blah, blah, blah. American football, you used to be able to watch it, but they've got to stop the game for commercials nonstop. I really wish we could get the commercials out of stuff, or just scroll the commercials up above. Everybody, oh, the games are too long, so let's change rules like baseball. Oh, the games are lasted too long. Well, it's because you take 20 minutes for commercial timeouts instead of 3 minutes for commercial timeouts. Oh, but we got to get those commercials in. College football, the games used to be over in 3 hours. Now they're 4.5 hours long because they stop the game every 20 seconds for a commercial. You watch football in like the World Cup when I'm in Europe, and they just scroll commercials across the top or across the bottom. Problem solved. You watch the game, ignore the damn commercials, but not corporate America. No. We got to take over your TV and bombard you with crap that you wouldn't think of buying unless they throw it at you 50 times a day. Oh, hurling's a wonderful sport. I don't know. I think if you are truly a good athlete, you could play any sport. Hurling's awesome. People laugh and say, oh, American football players can never last in rugby. Your rugby guys aren't 6'8", 330 pounds either. You take that big boy and have him play rugby, some of those rugby boys will get up or not get up. I think if you're a good athlete, you can play sports, but you definitely can be built to play certain sports better than others. I played real football. I played American football. I played baseball. I played and coached basketball. Joyce was an all-city basketball player. Clyde fan. You think you'd do something, not sure when. "15 minutes, you'll be knocking." Chris, yeah. Trust me, I've been there. I've had weekends where every one of my teams lost. It's just, because I am a bit passionate about my sports teams. You go to, there are certain teams that I like for their American football teams that I like for their cheerleaders to be a male chauvinist pig, to be an objectifier. I have always loved the Oakland Raiders because I think their cheerleaders have always had the best outfits. I apologize to all the women out there, but it is a weakness, cheerleader uniforms and some other stuff, but I do occasionally objectify women that are on a screen. I don't look at naughty magazines and stuff like that, but if I'm watching the Oakland Raiders, I'm not watching the football team. I'm looking for the cheerleaders. But Joyce will tell you, I don't look at women any other time, but on a TV football game, I'm looking for the cheerleaders. Yep. Oh, he played for the Eagles B? That's impressive. Yeah, I like both too. I played rugby. I like rugby too. And yes, in football, you wear pads. But in football, you tend to hit a lot harder because of the pads. In rugby, you tackle those guys and you hit them, and there's dirty play in both. And I'll tell you what, American football players today wear a lot less pads than we had to wear in the 70s and 80s. And of course, I grew up playing football without pads. We played without helmets and pads in the neighborhood, and we tried to kill each other. Oh, that's cool, Chris. Because obviously anybody who knows us from Facebook knows Joyce and I love to kayak. We're not that type of kayaking, the competition kayak, but we like to get our kayaks out on the river, although we've gone from 2 smaller kayaks to 1 large kayak. We're now a tandem. We're now in the same boat. Yeah, Artie, you get to stare at the moms. Someday maybe you'll actually go out there. Why would I when I have Joyce? Because Joyce isn't wearing the Raiders outfit at the time. Or why do I? Yeah, I don't look at other women, and I don't need to, because yeah, I'm a very old-fashioned sort of loyal guy. If I'm looking at a woman's chest, it's because she's got something written on a t-shirt and I'm reading the t-shirt. Because I am guilty of that. I read t-shirts. Because there are so many funny t-shirts out there. I love them, so I like to read t-shirts. So if somebody has something saying on there, I'm reading it to see what it says. Because I'll stare at men's chest that way too. What does your shirt say? Yep, that excuse. But it's true. When Joyce is down here, you can ask her, she'll tell you. It's like, you know, some woman will be in like a black mini skirt and black jacket top with large breasts or something like that. Joyce will say, did you see that woman? And I was like, what woman? She says, the one that had the black mini skirt. I was like, no, where? Where? She's like, oh, she's already gone. You didn't see what she was wearing? I was like, no, I'm sorry, but I didn't. I think she does it to test me. And Joyce is probably listening in at work right now. Hey, Monsville, good morning to you. Hello, Sir Todd from Trackside Action. But anybody who saw us at Getz knows Joyce and I are attached at the hips. We're twin sides of the same coin. Because if we're at the mall, my brain's usually off somewhere thinking something. Like if I'm shopping for me, I'm like, I wonder if that store has this or has that. Yeah, I tend not to read shorts. Now, when I was a teenage boy, I admired from a distance, but I was such a shy wallflower as a kid. Hell, I was a shy wallflower when I met Joyce. The reason we're together is Joyce. I was too scared to ask her out. Joyce said, here, take my phone number and call me. I had a good time. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I couldn't talk myself into asking her for her phone number. I sat next to her all the way to my house because we were being given a ride by somebody else and they were dropping me off first. And I could not work up the courage. I'm sitting there, ask her for her phone number. Ask her for her phone number. You had a good time. You really like her. Ask her for her phone number. And I couldn't do it. And then just as we pulled in the driveway, and I was in my brain going, loser, asshole, dummy, why didn't you ask for her number? She grabbed my hand, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, here's my phone number. Call me. I had a good time with you. And I was like, well, write it on paper. My hand's all sweaty. I was such a doofus. I went straight to Two Black Eyes. You were jumped on by both your ex-mistresses while thinking about beer. Professor, are you thinking about beer again? No, honey. You know you were. All right, Leslie, you have a good time. We'll see your video. At 5'4", you did. I got you. I'm with you now. I didn't know you could get black eyes. What was she wearing? A Madonna steel one? That's the only way you get black eyes. You might get... It was a cold day. It was a bit nippy. God. I love that bit with Daisy all the time. Eyes above the neckline, gentlemen. Yeah, we had an ice storm. Joyce is 2 for 2. Twice she's had to take a day off, and twice her day off has been given back to her because they had a snow day cancellation. So yesterday, she took the day off yesterday to be with me at the hospital and drive me home, of course. But we had an ice storm overnight, and so they canceled schools yesterday morning. Oh dear, that's the old one, yep. That's an old Benny Hill one too. That's the problem when you get a bunch of men sitting around and not enough women standing up for themselves and saying, stop being a bunch of objectifying bastards. Yeah, my dad was 6'2", my mom was 6 foot. When I was born, the doctors projected me to be between 6'5" and 6'7", but they didn't factor in the fact that my mom and dad were both heavy smokers. So instead of being... I still came out 6'4", but I didn't reach that 6'5" to 6'7". Actually, I'm like 6'3" and a half, but the minute I put on shoes, I'm 6'4". But instead, I didn't reach the height they projected me to reach, and I had one kidney. Damn smoking. Andrew, are you really 6'3"? That's cool. I did not, watching you in video, I didn't know you were that tall. Of course, I just went through that when I went to the UK. Everybody from Jim to Lee to Philip Page, everybody that met me was like, I didn't think you were that tall. Now, Leslie's fairly tall. Leslie's like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". You're happy. You got to be happy whatever height you are. I mean, I think it would have been awkward for me just me personally, my own emotional issues. It might have been awkward for me to date a woman taller than me. But if Joyce had been taller than me and we bonded everywhere else, then it wouldn't have been an issue. But yeah, I rarely, very, very rarely saw a woman taller than me. Obviously, there's many women taller than me. But I don't know. Joyce was Joyce, and you know, when I saw Joyce, I thought she was attractive. But you know, if you go back to my 19-year-old self when I met Joyce, the very immature 19-year-old boy, Joyce had everything I liked in a woman. She had dark hair, dark eyes, pretty face, and huge tracts of land. The black eyes with Standy. Hey, Jim from Hover Motion, how are you? Just quick visit. All right. Well, thank you for stopping in. Always appreciate it. Hello to you and all your family. Been enjoying all your TGV videos. We were just talking about that a little bit ago. That amazing TGV you got. See, now I have to go to France and ride one, just so I have an excuse to buy one. Of course, I want a Thalys. Even before I get a TGV, I want a Thalys. That's one of the things I might be looking for when we go to Germany. I've got a small checklist of things I'm hoping to find. The Train Grande Vitesse. High-speed train. But the French always got to put their adjectives after. Train Grande Vitesse. Train big speed. Well, hello, Sir Dave from Scotrail. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's start going to some close-ups. Did have to change out a train, but... So yeah, that was the problem. I did not get a chance to really run these trains in. I set everything up Wednesday before I had to start surgery prep. And then Wednesday afternoon was all surgery prep. Wednesday, Thursday, getting ready, then going to the hospital, and then just being out of it the rest of the day. I woke up, ate, fell back asleep, and then I woke up like 11, was wide awake. Wow, time to start the day. And I had to be quiet because Joyce was trying to sleep because she had to get up early to go to work today. Yeah, that was a great pour. The lake came out amazing. When I do my river a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, when I do my river over here, now that I can do my river, yeah, I'm going to use the stuff you used. Camera 4 should be called a field road. Yeah, that's a good one. The Liverpool cam. That's right. The Liverpool cam. The Anfield Road cam. Walk on, with hope in your heart. I'm with you, Mick. From now on, I'm going to call it, I can call it the Anfield Road cam, or I can call it the Liverpool cam. Either one works. But yeah, I like Anfield cam. Yes, you can speak French. I only know enough French to be polite and to get into trouble. So you were working in Liverpool today. Okay, that's cool. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. West Virginia is beautiful. Sometimes the people aren't, but West Virginia is. I have been whitewater rafting in West Virginia many times. It's been a few years. Joyce and I need to get back. We've done both the Gully and the New. Now that's funny. You know, somebody brings that up. We got asked recently, how come we've never done a country western parody song? That's because I have to like the songs I do a parody of because I listen to them. I don't listen to country western. I do love John Denver, a lot of John Denver songs. But yeah, I don't listen to country western. I am not a country western fan, especially any country western after about 1980. About that time, country western went pop country and all the "Don't Break My Heart" and all the fake accents and that. I mean, when those people actually talk, they don't have the accent they sing with. You know, Dwight Yoakam's from Columbus, Ohio, and he sings like he's from somewhere deep in Alabama. All right, well, Clintonville, thank you for hanging with us. Yes, running trains is better than watching somebody else run trains. That's awesome. Yeah, that's right, K-Guns. We have both kinds, country and western. If I remember, that's another 48 Hours, Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. What kind of music you play here? We have both kinds, country and western. I hurt yourself today, you support Man City. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. You're off for a 3 a.m. alarm. Ugh, sounds terrible. All right, Andy, thanks for hanging out. Good night. Take it easy. Well, everybody's checking out. The best is yet to come, I hope. Had a rough start, but things are, knock on wood, running smoothly right now. Well, I grew up, my mom loves country music. And we grew up watching Hee Haw and this Grand Ole Opry. And I do like some old country, the Hank Williams and so forth. But not Hank Williams Jr., to be honest. Little Bo Cephas. But like Marty Robbins, I love Marty Robbins. And so I do have an affinity for some old country music. But back when it was really country music and not popped up fake country, which is the way it's been for the last 40-some years. Ernest Tubbs, there's a good one. Oh, it was from the Blues Brothers, you're right. It was Blues Brothers. That's right, because, yeah, they go in. What music do you have here? All right, guys, we're going to play Rawhide. That's right, it was Blues Brothers. I'm getting old. The brain's not working. I'll still blame it on coming out of anesthesia. Yeah, oh, I remember Hee Haw. I think Hee Haw might have helped start puberty young. Nurse Goodbody and all the Hee Haw girls. Yeah, I didn't always like the music, but man, I like those outfits. Favorite Scottish song is Loch Lomond. Blues Brother is an absolute classic. No apologies. It is a classic. And if I were sitting here with some of my high school friends, we would recite the entire movie, Nazis. I hate Illinois' Nazis. We have a full tank of gas. It's dark outside and we're wearing sunglasses. Let's go. Oh yeah, I love Blues Brothers. I probably have not watched it in at least 10 years, but I still... We're on a mission from God, ma'am. I'd just like a cup of coffee and some dry white toast. Oh yeah, the Dodge. Yeah, the Dodge cop car with the switch in the dashboard. Oh, we need a little extra RPM. The State County Municipal Offender Data System. 4 fried chickens and a Coke. Minnie the Moocher, Cab Calloway, yeah. Singing hidey, hidey, hi. Oh my God, yeah, I know that song, Chris. Hoots, man, there's a moose about this hoose. Yep. Yeah, there was Blues Brothers 2000, which just was not, it just wasn't the same. I know they tried hard, but it just wasn't the same. Blues Brothers, one of those movies that I don't know how you could have done a follow-up and to do it, 15 years later, and not have John Belushi as part of it. Obviously, John was dead by then. And hello, Jackie. I saw Jackie pop in. Skmods. But oh yeah, I love Blues Brothers. I love Ray Charles with the wannabe thief. You can't believe you got out of bed early enough to see the start of the show. Well, now you found out you don't need to get out of bed to see the start of the show, Artie. You didn't miss anything sleeping in. Yeah, and Randall to this day saying Kyle Petty having that paint scheme on a 44, but on a Pontiac just isn't right. The Petty name and paint schemes belong on Dodges and Plymouths only, but you got to blame Dodge for that. Well, I'm happy with Liverpool right now, but I'm waiting to see if they'll hold it or if they'll choke it away again. How much for the little girl? How much? Your children, all of them. I want to buy them. How much for the little girl? Sell me your children. Oh, we were talking about this on the live stream last week, some of the classic comedies from back in the early 80s. A lot of them came out. Right, I know, Randall. I said it was Dodge's fault. They got out of Winston Cup in the late 70s when Chrysler was trying to avoid going belly up. And that's why then they finally came back in the 2000s, and then they left again because Chrysler... Dodge is fine. If Dodge could go independent, Dodge makes money. Chrysler goes broke. Jeep now makes money. Chrysler is the big weight. That's why they stopped making Dodge Caravans and now only make the minivans as Chryslers to keep Chrysler afloat. But Chrysler is the big anchor that ties them down, but because it's the Chrysler name and Dodge is owned by the Chrysler name, they keep, they want to maintain Chrysler, but Dodge and Jeep make the money for them. And even Jeep barely makes a profit. But Dodge, and then they took Ram trucks away from Dodge, because Ram trucks were a huge profit maker for Dodge. And when Fiat took over, they took Ram away from Dodge so that they could split the profits onto Chrysler. Even though Chrysler got the profits anyhow, by taking Ram away and making Ram a division of Chrysler instead of a division of Dodge, it took some of Dodge's profit away and gave it to Chrysler. So they took the Caravan away from Dodge, and they took the truck line away from Dodge. And Dodge still is the only part of Chrysler that makes profits. Ram trucks make a profit too, but Chrysler sells nothing. And so Chrysler doesn't, they don't make the 200 anymore, they don't make the 300. Chrysler makes the minivans, and that's it. Well, the thing is, the company is Chrysler. Chrysler owns Dodge. Dodge is a division of Chrysler since 1939. But Dodge has always been their moneymaker. And even Dodge isn't quite making the money they were making a couple of years ago, because they discontinued the Avenger. Then they just discontinued mid-sizes altogether. So now all you get from Dodge is the Charger, the Challenger, and even then they're going to discontinue the Challenger and rebrand it. And even the Charger might get a rebranding. And there's even talk that Chrysler is going to take the Charger up to Chrysler. But Chrysler Charger is not right. That's a Dodge car. And I know they sold Chargers in Australia under the Chrysler name, the Chrysler Charger. And that was BS, because Dodge had that name copyrighted, but of course Chrysler owns Dodge. So, but they're gonna eliminate the Challenger, which is stupid because it's a big seller of theirs, and the Charger might be moved up to Chrysler, the Chrysler name, and they might even get rid of the Dodge name altogether. That has been one of the rumors coming out for a while, but they get talked out of it. And some of this comes from Fiat as well. It's not just Chrysler, Fiat. Because one of the first things Fiat did when they got a hold of Dodge is they canceled the Viper, which Dodge made. Because it was beating all those high-end Fiat cars, the Lamborghinis or whichever one they own. I forget if Fiat owns Lamborghini or Ferrari. I forget which one Fiat owns. And Fiat was trying to use Chrysler to get Fiats over here, and nobody was buying the Fiats over here. And Fiat's been kind of dirty dipping Chrysler. And I wish Chrysler could go independent. The problem is Chrysler can't go independent because Chrysler by itself doesn't make money. Dodge and Jeep make money. Well, hello, Ray Ron. Oh, exactly, Randall. If they took the Dodge Charger away and called it the Chrysler, they would lose so much business. That's why they're still keeping the Dodge name. But even the Dodge Avenger was selling well. Heck, the Dodge Dart was selling well as a compact car. And Fiat canceled it because Fiat wanted to use the chassis of the Dodge Dart to bring their little, the Javelin or whatever over here, and they rebranded it something over here. And the Dart was selling, and the little Fiat Giulia wasn't selling. And so they canceled the Dart and the Giulia. The Dart was selling and actually making a profit, but when Fiat allowed Dodge to release it, they said, okay, you got 5 years to make 7% of the market. 7% of the compact car market against Kia, Nissan, Honda, and all these other companies that are so rocked in 5 years. And Chrysler actually made it to 5% in 5 years, but they didn't make the 7%. But Fiat gave them an extra 2 years, but Chrysler never got past 5.5%, so Fiat then canceled the Dart. But the Dart was winning awards, and it was an amazing car. We had a Dart for several years. My son still drives it. It was an awesome car. It was a compact car. But it got 40 to 45 miles to the gallon on the highway, and as a compact car, it had more room than all the Japanese mid-size cars. And it had great acceleration and pickup. It was an amazing car, and it won all these awards in Europe and in America from the car industry, and Fiat would not promote it. In Croatia. Nothing wrong with the Yugo. Yep, we did see dog. We did see the dog on Tucker Box. Yep. It is amazing. We catch videos and suggestions, and they're in places in Australia, and Joyce and I are suddenly like, we've been there. We saw that. We were there. In fact, Joyce has a colleague who has a friend who's going to Australia, and they said, somebody wants to take us to Kiama. And what's in Kiama? And Joyce is like, oh, God, you got to go. Really? Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. It's on the coast, and it's right here. Yes, definitely tell your friend it's worth going to Kiama. Or Kiama. I forget which way. It was so cool. Exactly, Randall, exactly. Got your Tucker and Billy for the show tomorrow. Yes, Chris, and years ago I had a chance to buy a Royal Lancer with suicide doors, and it had the Dodge family crest on the hubcaps and on the headrests, on the back of the headrest of the front seats, and in the middle of the seats in the back and the seats on the front. It even had bucket seats in the front. And it was $10,000. And it was at the time I had just sold my Charger and I couldn't afford it. I had just sold my 73 Charger to bail us out. And oh my God, I wanted that car. And it was in pristine shape, and they only wanted $10,000 for it. Oh my God! To this day, a '56 Royal Lancer with the suicide doors. Oh my God! It was a gorgeous car. Yeah, that was very vague, and I don't think it was ever more than scuttlebutt. Like somebody at GM's executive board was like, well, we could buy Chrysler and tap into that market, and it was quickly voted down. But somebody went in and said, oh yeah, we're thinking about merging with Chrysler. There was actually, the bigger talk was Ford. The bigger talk was that there was talk of Ford acquiring at the time Chrysler and Dodge, and that they would kill the Plymouth name. This was back in the 80s. They were going to kill the Plymouth name and take Chrysler and Dodge, which would have been funny because Dodge started with Ford. The Dodge brothers that started Dodge Brothers Automobiles were the engineers for Henry Ford. That's really dead. If an Australian town had 20 pubs and now only 2 are left, that means the town's dead. That's sad, Artie. I mean, I know we joked about it in the one video, but we did hit some towns that in your trucking days you had such fond memories of, and so many of the things were gone. And that's hard. You know, I remember, I now do that. I now go around and have all these restaurants and places that I ate as a kid, and I ate as a teenager, I ate as an adult. Even my kids, when they were young, we ate at these places, and they're all gone now. And, you know, I'll drive past and go, yeah, that used to be there, and that used to be there. I was like, oh, crap, I sound like my dad and my grandpa. My dad used to drive around, oh, when I was young, we used to go over here, and now look, it's all this. We used to drag race on that road over there, and now it's all developed. We had outraced the Sylvania Township police over here. And Man United beat Leicester in FA Cup 2-1. Well, good for Man United. Brisbane. That's one of the places Joyce and I want to hit on our next trip to Australia. We obviously want to try to hook up with Artie as long as he doesn't move too far inland in Australia when he moves. But we do want to get Brisbane and hit the northeast coast. Sydney was cool, but Sydney was packed. Sydney was like London. It was just way too many buildings squeezed into a small area just because everybody wants to live there. And then, of course, it's expensive. I know some of my UK friends live in London, but of all the places we visit in the UK, London was our least favorite. We enjoyed London. There was a lot of cool things we saw in London, and we liked where we stayed in London and loved the little local places we visited in London to eat. But as a city, it was just packed. It was just monster building on top of monster building, each trying to be taller and fatter. And it wasn't pretty. If you're a modern architecture guy, maybe it was pretty, but to us, the people of London were awesome, but man, London was just overbuilt. Like New York, just overbuilt. Well, hello, Dirk from Chesty Train. Sir Dirk, nice to have you here. Wollongong area sucked. Way too many beaches. That sucked. We liked Wollongong. Obviously, we're sad to see Wollongong is, struggling a bit, where a lot of the malls and the shops and that are struggling and closing. But Wollongong's in a great area. You got mountains around you, you got the lake, and you've got the ocean. So mountains, lakes, ocean, big city. I mean, it seems to have a lot to offer. But obviously, everybody wants to be up on Sydney. Sydney just draws too much and kills too much around it. Sydney had a lot of pretty stuff. I enjoyed seeing Sydney. It was awesome. The Harbor Bridge was great. The Opera House was very cool to get our picture between them. The boat ride in the harbor was cool. And there was a lot of cool architecture in Sydney. But at the same time, it was just massive building on top of massive building on top of massive building. And it's just, I'm not a country boy. I like living in a city, but not a massive megalopolis. I like a bigger town over a small town. Toledo's a perfect sized city for me. Although, towns like Delmenhorst in Germany or even Dresden. Joyce and I could happily live in Cardiff in Wales. We really loved Cardiff. And again, bay, ocean, beaches, beautiful town, castle. There's just so much to love in Cardiff. It was amazing. Liverpool was cool in the area we were in, but we were in the trendy tourist area. But like where Jim Hovermotion lived, his neighborhood just kind of on the edge of Manchester. Very nice little neighborhood. But of course, Joyce and I are Americans, and we're used to the American way of life and sort of how Americans do things. But we've also traveled enough that we can adapt. We have found many things about living in Germany that we prefer over America. Wish that America would adopt these things, but a lot of things are in the way. You got bored living in Cardiff, so moved out to Barrie. Yeah, I mean, again, everybody's different, of course. But what I respond to positively, other people might not. For example, Joyce loves the mountains. I like seeing the mountains, but I don't want to live in the mountains. I don't like driving in the mountains. I don't like heights. I don't mind going up a hillside as long as I'm not overlooking a steep cliff. You know, if I can roll down the hill safely, crash into a tree, I'm fine. The minute I'm looking down going, yeah, if I fell from here, it would hurt a lot or kill me. I don't like it. But I admire the view of mountains, and I admire the view from mountains. I have stood on the Zugspitze many times, the tallest mountain in Germany, which is only 10,000 feet tall, but it looks so much taller because it kind of stands alone, and it's such an immediate rise. It's basically 7,000 feet straight up, as opposed to a mountain that slowly rises like this. It's just out there and just flat, 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 boom, mountain. So it looks taller than it is. And when you stand on the top of it, you feel like you're on top of the world because you can see the curvature of the earth. Yes, people, the earth is round. You can see the curvature of the earth up there. And there are mountains that are a couple hundred miles away in Austria that are 2,000-3,000 feet taller than the Zugspitze, but they're shorter because of where you're at and the curvature of the earth. I always tell my students, see those three mountains over there? Yeah, the tallest one's about 14,000, then 13.5, and about 12,800 feet. Sorry, I'm not doing meters. And I'll say, those mountains are actually taller than this one, but because of the curvature of the earth, we look like we're above them. And it's an epic view up there. What? Earth is round since then. Sorry, Chesty, I live in a country where way too many people think the earth actually is flat. No matter how much we've tried to educate them, you can't get past. All right, Kieran's going. Take care, Kieran. Good night. I missed that comment, so I'll go back and see that. Yeah, you're even putting up some videos of what you're doing at work, I think, there, Dirk. Oh, we've had a lot of Anthonys, 2 Dirks, and Andys. We had 3 Anthonys. We had 4 Andys, 3 Anthonys, 2 Dirks, and a partridge and a pear tree. All these guys, after an early incident, seem to have their crap together and running nicely. My 2 favorite UK trains, really. Sorry, Mallard. Mallard's my favorite locomotive, but these 2 trains are my 2 favorites now. So, Mick, Cheadle Heath. So, is Peter Jackson from Cheadle Heath, is that the same Cheadle Heath that you're mentioning there? Well, Artie, yeah, you're not going to catch me in a Cessna anytime. I will not ride in one of the small planes. You think so? Okay. Because I don't know if you're familiar with Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath. He does a lot of, he goes to shows and then films layouts, but he releases one short video of each layout rather than one long video of all the layouts combined. He'll take a couple of his favorites. You bought LNER because of you? I love the LNER Azuma. It's one of my favorite looking EMUs, trains. It's absolutely one of my favorites. I think it's gorgeous. You're in oh my goodness, Droylsden, about 5 minutes from City Ground. Most pilots start in a 152 like starting in a Mini Coupe. Yeah, I guess there's some logic to that. But yeah, Joyce and I, when we went to the UK, we stayed in Cardiff, then Bangor. So southern Wales, northern Wales. Then we went over to Liverpool. Then we went up to Edinburgh. Then we came down to York. And we started for a day or so in London and then ended for a couple of days in London. 2 or 3 days to start in London and then 2 days to end in London. We got back to London like noonish, and then we had the rest of that day, all the next day, and then we left early in the morning from London. And when we arrived and then had 2 or 3 full days in London, I forget which, and then we went on. I mean, we did not have a bad day in the UK. There wasn't a day where we said, oh, today sucked. To be honest, when we've traveled, all the places we've traveled, especially since we've traveled alone, you know, without our students, without my students, there might be a couple of places, like when we went to Rotenburg ob der Taube, it was just too touristy. It was packed with tourists, which you understand, and we're tourists too. I get that. We're tourists too, so you don't condemn tourists. But it was just so full, and there's just so many things about tourism and not so much about... I'd rather go to the town of Celle, which is near Hanover, or Goslar, which are very old towns that have large old town sections like Rotenburg does, but they're not overrun with tourist and tourist-oriented businesses. It's like Prague. Prague is beautiful, but once you get to the main square in Prague, 90% of the businesses there are about ripping off tourists, getting the people from other countries that don't really know any better and selling them stuff. Oh, this is real Czech. No, it's not. Oh, this is the... You know, you got to get off on the side streets and get away from the main tourist hubs up at the castle and the main square by the astronomical clock and so forth. But Prague is a beautiful city. Love Prague. And Joyce and I had a great time there. But we are experienced travelers. We know how to avoid the tourist scams and the tourist BS stuff. I would not say there were too many tourists at the Three Sisters. It's obviously a tourist point, so there's a lot of tourists. The only thing that bothered me about Three Sisters, I thought it was a beautiful view, and it was one of those big-eyed wow moments. Definitely worth whatever we had to go through to get there. I would have happily paid $10, $20 to have gotten that view. It was beautiful. A particular group of tourists, those Japanese banking group, where that one tall guy that was probably 6'5" kept knocking me out of the way while I'm trying to take my picture of, you know, with the three, Joyce and me with the three. He just would either knock me aside and then go to the fence and get in the way, and he knew he was doing it. That's what bothered me. I don't know if he was trying to provoke a fight with me. But then we went down to the other observation area, and he came right in and pushed his way in again. And it was just like, what, you know, jerk. You know, what is the Japanese word for... Because I would have used it there. The golems are decent folks once you get to know them in Prague. Oh, that's true. But you know what? The view, I'm sure maybe is a little better in the summer, but the view we got was epic. It was one of those, brain took a picture and will not fade it. It was epic. When we walked up and saw that view, the last time I had a view like that is when we hit, when I was a kid, and we hit Pikes Peak and saw the Great Divide the other way. You know, all the way down to the Mississippi River one way and off to California the other way. Or even like the Grand Canyon, some of those epic views. It was amazing. You know, when a place is beautiful, it's going to draw the tourists. You know, that's why people are going there. You know, hey, we're in Australia, let's go see this. But I think that's why we enjoyed traveling off-season as we did. Joyce didn't get to go. Joyce didn't go in the ocean. I did anyhow. I didn't care. And that's a favorite memory. Thank you, Chris. Now I just got to learn how to say it. Monsville, was there more to that? I'm trying to go back and see it. When you say like American tourists, are you saying you like American tourists, or there's things that are bad like American tourists? Yeah, I hate to say this. I hate to talk about that. I offend so many of my fellow Americans, but then again, my fellow Americans, we act like... Willie, if you're listening, plug your ears, please. Willie, if you happen to still be watching, please plug your ears for about 10 seconds. But when we Americans, at least the ones I keep running into are in Europe, we are assholes. Oh my God, there are other countries that are just as bad. There are other countries that are just as bad. Or can be. I think Japan can have some really annoying tourists at times, but just as a group, we Americans, there's a reason why so many people use the phrase ugly Americans. We act so entitled and so whiny. And Joyce and I are such the opposite. We're appreciative of everything. We respect what's going on. We respect their traditions. I can't tell you how many times I'm in a German restaurant and you get some American who's in the restaurant going, "Hey, isn't there anybody here who speaks English? What the hell? Why doesn't anybody speak English?" And Joyce and I just go, "Dude, you're in Germany. Maybe try learning some German." Yes, there are plenty of tourist restaurants where the people do speak English, but that's a courtesy. If it's a tourist area, they'll have workers who speak English. And many Germans learn English in school to get around and survive. But it's not America, it's Germany. And even Joyce, who is definitely learning more German over the last few years, she will always, when we go into a restaurant, she'll order in German, she'll greet people in German, and then if they really start talking to her in German, she'll look at me and I'll explain, "Meine Frau spricht nicht so viel Deutsch," you know. Well, there's that too, Raymond. Absolutely, Raymond. Yeah, that's the problem. The touristy places have little to do with the place itself. That's why I like, for example, I'll give you a great example, is in Canada, Niagara Falls. The entire Canadian side and American side of Niagara Falls is tourist trap, all these, you know, come in and spend your money and blow your money here, whether it's casinos or goofy museums or game halls, Spielotheks as they're called in Germany, and so forth. But the falls themselves, they can't abuse. The falls themselves are just absolutely stunning, and you can ignore all the stupid stuff behind you. You can ignore all the tourist traps on Clifton Hill and so forth. And the falls themselves are still natural and still beautiful. And Maid of the Mist, which is for tourists, is still worth the money. Maid of the Mist is an amazing experience. Although now it's two different companies. They split. The Canadian company, I think, is still Made of the Mist, but the American side has a different name now. I haven't run into Aussies. All I know is we were in Australia and the Aussies were wonderful people. Like, Artie, you remember when we were staying at the hotel under the Harbor Bridge, and we got up our first full morning, and we went out, and I went out on the deck on our floor, you know, to look at the bridge, and just that one guy out there. And I walked out there. He was sitting alone smoking a cigarette. I walked out there. He turned around and started talking to me with the biggest, friendliest grin on his face, with a very stereotyped Australian Paul Hogan accent, and maybe he was doing it to be silly, but oh my God, he talked to me like we had been drinking buddies for 20 years. He just, "G'day, mate. Interesting view, isn't it?" You know, and and when I answered back, "Oh, so where are you from? You from England or you from America?" And I was like, "We're from America." And we just had a wonderful chat. And then 10, 15 minutes later, says, "Well, I guess I better get the family going. And see you later, you know, g'day, mate." And off he went again. I was like, oh my God, these people just melt you. They're so nice. And if you're nice back, he doesn't know my name. I don't know his. But I will remember him as long as my brain remembers my trip to Australia. Uh-oh, now we're getting into the Melbourne-Sydney feud. Oh, Maura, that's cool, and it can be a headache, I know. Superman, the only person who made the falls run backwards. But like when I'm in Germany, the tourist groups I find that can be a bit of a pain. When you get, Americans are the worst. I'll just say that. I'm sorry, my fellow Americans, but we're the worst. After that, I would put Italians, because the Italians get loud and rowdy. They can't seem to just have a conversation without it getting loud and rowdy, whether it's a happy conversation or an angry one. And they will push in, like, "Oh, what is everybody looking at?" Push everybody else out of the way to see. You know, maybe they got that old Roman, "We were here first." I don't know. And then Japanese tourists can be, there's a stereotype, and sadly, so many Japanese tourists fulfill it like Americans fulfill the ugly American stereotype. But they've got to have a picture. And the young Japanese are the worst because they got the 20-foot long selfie stick, and they're standing doing all their poses. That's like, there is a crowd of people waiting to get through, and they're going to spend 10, 15 minutes doing all their model poses, and always with the two fingers. You know, and they can be a pain in the butt with that. They're not necessarily rude or disrespectful verbally or even pushing through, but when they get to a place and decide it's time to take pictures, they get those selfie sticks out, and it's really frustrating because everybody's got to do all their poses, and there are other people who do that too, but when you get a big group of Japanese tourists, it can be really, really annoying. I think Canadians are wonderful as long as you don't accidentally refer to them as Americans. But Canadians are wonderful. I've been in a few countries. I've never lived in any other country other than, if you count spending a month in Germany for 15, 16 years. living in Germany, but not like military or work or business where you're there nonstop. In some ways, I kind of wish I could have had a job where I lived in Germany for a few years and raised my family there and maybe stayed, but that's a different story. Oh, yeah, and of course, in the UK, there are certain regions, like the Northerners are friendlier than the Southerners. We didn't see a difference. We just, everybody was friendly to us. And of course, we don't do things, anybody that's met Joyce and me, we try very hard not to do anything that would cause a scene or embarrass somebody, other than me picking up Andy and giving him a bear hug, which to this day, I still regret doing it because it wasn't meant disrespectful, but I did it as a fluke, and I still felt like that was kind of rude on my part. But I think I have not been to New Zealand. I've met people from Kiwi. I've got several Kiwi friends here, and I think they're wonderful too. The banter between Australians and Kiwis is kind of fun. I think Germans. Germans are a mixed bag. It's hard to give a stereotype of Germans because there's so many different German tribes to begin with. Germans are always relatively polite. If at worst, because the stereotype is Germans have no sense of humor. They have a great sense of humor, but it's not. In some ways, it's close to the British sense of humor, but it's a dry humor. It's a very dry humor. Oh, the joys of being elevated. But we've gone many places, but we find if you're respectful, the Germans do come out of your shell because, like I said, so many Americans go over there and just, the old faulty towers, don't mention the war. Most Americans don't even know, but there are just so many places where Americans, we're not always loud and obnoxious, but because the ugly American has many shades. Like, you've got a lot of, and it's from every country, but you see a lot of money Americans. You see a lot of money Americans that, and they're trust fund kids. And they can be really snooty and annoying and very condescending to everybody because they're Americans and they're rich. And they expect to be, where Germany doesn't necessarily cater to the rich like that. But, a lot of way Americans act here, and you get a bunch of Americans on a tour group, and they walk into German restaurants and act like they're at Cracker Barrel. And you can't get away with that crap. You have to. There is a way. There is a custom. There is how you do and conduct yourself. And, in Germany, a waitress doesn't come over every 5 minutes to ask if you need a refill. And the refills aren't free. Oh, that camera froze, so I guess I won't go to that camera. There are ways, and Germans tend to be more reserved and more conservative, and Americans can be very boisterous and demanding. Waitress! Waitress! It's like, they come. That's true, Artie. I mean, to be able to honestly banter with each other, you have to like each other. You can't banter with somebody you don't like. It becomes insults. It's not banter, it's insults. To truly banter, you've got to have a mutual love and respect. But see, I don't get into the best parties are ones when these people are there, you know, not to go at Dirk here. It's everybody will feel like, oh, the best party is when you have these people together. The best party is when you got people that want to have a good time and aren't jerks. And then it doesn't matter what nationality or religion or anything else they are. Everybody's just going to have a good time and take care of each other. Oh, yeah, it can be insults. Banter is insults, but it's a type of insulting. Good-natured ribbing. I mean, to me, when you say banter, it is insults. Artie and I banter. We insult each other. Jean Ricard and I banter. And to me, banter always implies insults. Not all insults, but a lot of insults. But there has to be a love there first. Otherwise, it's the insults without the fun. Hello, Ian! So, yeah, it definitely can and is insults. And the thing is, like with, I grew up on a lot of British and Australian TV shows and comedy. So I'm familiar with British banter and slang and Aussie banter and slang, and I realize it's part of it. Well, to me, if it's nasty insults, then it's not banter. I mean, sure, you'll have Aussies and New Zealanders that really don't like each other. You can have Canadians that really don't like Americans and Americans that don't like Canadians. The biggest problem is Americans think Canadians are Americans. Oh, you're just like Americans. No, they're not. They're very different. There's a reason they're Canadians and not United States of Americans. And technically, Canadians are Americans too because they're on North America, which is one of their holdups. But unfortunately, you're Canadians and we call ourselves Americans. But Mexicans are Americans too, and Brazilians are Americans, and Nicaraguans are Americans, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, and I mean, because there's team banter and regional banter. Like, like my friend, my late friend, Dean, he was a Michigan State fan, but he rooted for Michigan against Ohio State because they're Michigan, they hate Ohio. But we were friends, so we could tease each other about Ohio State, Michigan. But most Ohio State and Michigan people hate each other, literally hate each other. It's not just friendly banter. There are some Ohio State people, Michigan people that are friendly and will banter with each other. But in reality, to me, banter always implies there's a friendship involved where insulting is there's a hate involved. But I can get along with people that are Michigan fans and be friends with them, and then we can tease each other. But if I don't know the person and they start giving me grief about Michigan and Ohio State, I won't like them. You're not my friend, so we don't get that to do that kind of banter yet. Delmenhorst, which for a little period in his life was controlled by Denmark. So Jean Ricard got to learn about that history. No, but I'd like Toledo to become a province of Canada. But I am stuck in Toledo as long as my kids and my grandson are here. And we're not going to move. Joyce and I born and raised in Toledo. We lived in Cleveland for a year. I actually lived in a couple places when I was young. Lived in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and Flint, Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan for a little bit, all for like less than a year. My dad kept moving us around. And then we came back to Toledo, and we stayed in Toledo. We moved back to Toledo in 72, and we stayed in Toledo then. When Joyce and I got married, I got a job, and I moved to just outside of Cleveland, Ohio. And then Joyce came out and joined me, and then we lived in Cleveland for the equivalent of a school year, and then moved back to Toledo. Yes, I saw that, and I am very tempted. Yeah, it's and Toledo is, you know, it's like a heroin. It's in me. If I had somehow moved all my family somewhere else or raised my family somewhere else, there would still be a part of me that missed Toledo. But overall, you know, I've enjoyed, like, I could, Joyce and I joked, we could live in Cardiff easily. We could live in the city of Dresden, or actually Pirna, which is outside of Dresden. We could live in that area happily. Pirna, Cardiff. I don't know. We like the Rhine River and the Rhine Valley there. The main Rhine Valley there. The golden, what do they call that section of the Rhine? The classic Rhine or whatever.
Rhine.
Yeah.
Rhine Valley.
I would say I see Aussies and Kiwis as very similar. I don't know that I would throw Canadians. Canadians are Canadians. There is a difference.
Oh, Australia's property rate is insane.
But Australia is way expensive to live in, yeah.
Yeah, very expensive. So hi everybody. So hi Raymond.
Okay, let's get choice view. Da 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 da. Live from Toledo, Ohio, it's Joyce Tonight. Da 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 da.
You should sit up. That'll help you too.
Well, maybe I'll just
Slouchy.
move it up.
There you go.
Oh, that was too much. It'll work. For
So
now, until
hi
I-
Mick. Hi Monsville. Sorry guys, I'm getting terribly distracted. That's nothing. I'm always distracted. So let's see where y'all were. Hi everybody, first of all. So hi Chris. Hi Colin. So Mick, I said. Hi Monsville, I said. Hi Ian.
Oh,
Hi there Lee.
if I moved, it would be to a bigger house, and it'd either be
Hi
out of
there,
the country or here in Toledo.
Hi Andy. Hi
So-
Randall. Hi Mara. You're kind of new, I think.
Well,
Todd,
it's
new to
Mara
me.
Curran with her other.
Yeah, okay. New to me, I guess, with that name. So, hi Todd. Hi Andy, or Andrew, I think.
And Willie says hi, Joyce.
Hello, Billy. Hi Tom. And of course, hi to Willie's mom. Hi Tom.
See, I'm so bad,
Yay,
and right
Todd.
now I am having apparently post. Even though I feel a little.
Hi Jackie.
One more, or you done?
There's
There's
one
number
more.
3.
Oh, Cayenne's here.
She always sneezes. What? Cayenne's here?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Lindy said hi.
Uh-oh.
You got the sweetest.
Plug your ears, everybody.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. Hang on, everybody.
You
Plug
know,
your
Oma
ears.
gets the
time.
attention, so it's nice when Oma gets some.
Grandson is here.
Yeah.
Cayenne! Hey, Cayenne! Opa loves you!
Oma loves you. We love you so much. much, buddy, and I miss seeing you. So
Yeah, sorry you
Hey,
didn't get
thank
to come
you
to
all.
Opus, but we'll see you on Sunday.
yeah, we'll see you Sunday for sure. It's veal Swiss, by the way. Give you time to
Oh,
prepare.
I'm making veal Swiss, am I?
You are.
Ah, I'm glad I knew this.
Well, now
Not.
you know. Well, A, calendar. B, it's Friday. You have a few days.
A, calendar, which I never look at.
That's your
B,
fault, not mine.
B, you're making the calendar, you tell me what I'm making.
Thank you all. I'm not allergic to Anthony Hardy. That would be quite a thing. Yes, and of course, hello to Chris if he's listening in any way,
But
shape, or form. He's
Joyce
still works.
sneezes 3 times.
Usually.
She never sneezes once. It's always 3. Very rarely you might get just 2.
Hi, Carl. I'm sorry if I missed anybody between the sneezing and Kyan coming in. Yeah, Holy Toledo is right. Should tell you only once. Carl, we love that show.
Which show?
I shall tell you only once.
Yeah.
Tell you
Listen
this
to me
only
carefully, I
once.
shall say this only once.
Yes.
It is I, Leclerc.
Leclerc, yeah. That's not I. Oh, well, that's a different line. It's all right. Oh,
Listen to it
golly.
carefully, she'll only say this once.
So, hi, Diaz.
And hi, Lindy, too. And
Eins, zwei, drei. Huh, you counting my sneezes?
1, 2, 3, yes. Oh, my dicky ticker.
Yeah. I've used that with a few people who do have bad ticky tickers, and they do not seem to be
I was just
amused.
piecing outside. I was just piecing outside.
Oh my God, that man thinks he speaks French.
Oak. No, it's Oak. Here comes the who thinks he can speak French.
Oh, heck, yeah.
And then they brought in his girlfriend who spoke just as bad.
Just as bad, and then the other English people. Oh, we sure need. Forget his name. We need him here. He speaks fluent French. Oh golly, yeah, we enjoyed that. Oh my ticky ticker.
Hello, hello. Oh, the flashing bombs!
Have you got your piss pots?
Good morning. Have you got your
Yeah,
spots?
Morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good
I
morning.
can't say it right. Ah, what's my hair doing? Don't
Well,
mind
that's you.
me.
Your brain always wants to correct everything to proper.
Yeah, you do. Have you got your piss pots?
Tell me about how many
Spots?
times I've tried to get you to sing and no, Joyce, read the lyrics. Yeah, but they're bad grammar, honey. Yes, because they have to be.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm struggling with
Is your
Just
railjet
simple thoughts.
stopped or is it just parked?
it's pushed out, but it is parked.
Okay.
It's not meant to be
It's
running.
not supposed to be.
My
there.
little Brawa here was acting up, and I don't know why. It
Oh.
came apart a couple of times.
Oh.
And then when I put it back together, all of a sudden everything was running a little bit goofy, so I don't know if it has a short in it or what.
Oh, I'm
I'll
sorry.
put it back on a different track later.
Yeah, he'll mess with it later.
I have to,
They have
I've
a
got to
few,
replace
just
that
don't
one
like,
turnout, because I
things.
think that one turnout
What's
was the
my
problem.
favorite train?
See, Joyce
I don't
doesn't
do
have
favorite
favorites.
trains.
If you want to get a consternated growl from Joyce, ask her favorite anything. What's your
Just
favorite
about.
song? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite city?
I like a lot of songs, a lot of food, a lot of cities, a lot of trains.
The
So
only chance I
just
have, the only
can't
time I can
narrow
ask
it
her,
down.
the only time I can ask her her favorite, there's 2 situations. Who's your favorite husband?
you, of course.
Bingo. Who's your favorite grandson?
Kyan, of
There.
course.
That's it. When
Because
there's
it's a
only
choice of
one, then she has a
Yeah,
favorite. The minute
yeah.
there's 2, favorites don't exist.
Forget it. Yeah, I like a lot of things. I like a lot of colors. I like
Yeah, she doesn't have a favorite color.
multiple bestie friends. You know, it's
So, but out of my trains, is there some you
No.
like? Which are like colorful and attractive, or like when you ride in Germany? Yeah, see, she can't do it.
just,
she
no,
cannot
I
have a
really
favorite.
can't.
Like the railjet. You've ridden on a railjet. You've seen
I have
railjets.
ridden on a real jet.
Aren't they very pretty?
They're extremely pretty. We shitty seat in a railjet.
We didn't have the seats were comfortable and
seats were
nice, but they
fine.
sat us apart and would not let us change seats to be together.
Well, that's his point, yeah.
Well, that's just it. There's
Sorry.
only one.
Yeah.
The only time Joyce has a favorite is if there's one and she likes it.
Yeah. It's true.
See, if she didn't like me right now, who's your favorite husband? She's like, I don't have one.
None. None of the above.
None of the above. There's me, and me.
mind
None of the
boggles.
above.
Yeah, well, that's why Chris, it was why it was safe. I've hung on to him for a long time. Thank you, Mara.
41 years together,
Yeah.
37, almost 38
It'll be
married.
38 in June.
It'll be 38
Just
in June.
doing the math, I think, this morning.
You're doing the
Shower.
math this morning.
It's like,
When does that insurance policy kick in?
you need one.
What?
You need one.
Well, there's that. Yeah, we had 50 in here at one time, 54 as very early on.
Yeah, when
I chased
yes,
them
I
all
was
away.
listening when you said I was listening.
See,
You
just to
had
let me know,
40.
I heard you.
Yeah. You had 40 likes at like 406 or something. It
Oh, well, that was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well, yeah,
So-
because last week you forgot to do your bit.
I
and-
did, and it was terrible, but I haven't done it today, and it's good.
Well, I reminded
Anyway.
people earlier.
Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't hit the like button. We appreciate it if you already did.
Oh, Silas. Not now, Ms. Coggett.
Not now, Silas.
I think the best Daisy bit is every time she introduces the Southwestern Ecumenical Council.
Men from sex.
I'm sorry, Silas, sugar.
Silas Sugar.
I
But
can't.
the men from sex is here. I just can't.
And, of course, you always have to tell them.
Now, gentlemen, do we remember the rules yet?
Eyes above.
Eyes above the neckline. No telling me that it's nippy or nibbly or nippy out.
No discussing the weather, yeah.
Yes.
Ah, fiddlesticks.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My sister's in-laws celebrated their 71st anniversary this January. Yes, they're both in their 90s and they're not very healthy. They're down in Florida. My sister and her husband are extending their stay another month because she fell and broke her back.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents were married 55
Not her
years
spine,
before.
not her
well,
spinal cord,
technically
just her back.
54. They would have been, no, they did make, because they were married in January.
Okay.
So they made 55 years before my father passed away.
Awful lot of it contentious and very little of it
They
happy.
fought. They
Yeah.
fought one day and then were
Wow.
lovey-dovey with each other
Yeah.
the next. They hated and loved each
They
other.
were not good role models.
And her parents were married 56 years.
That's blown half of tonight's content. What's that? How many years or what?
Oh, that's the blown half of tonight's. Yeah, and I'm not on that
Yeah,
one
not
either.
following it either.
Oh, that's blown
What's
half
for
of tonight's
breakfast?
contents.
Oh, it sounds good, Artie.
So, but in Joyce's family, outside of her one sister, everybody's, strong going to 50 years. And how long were Holly and John married before they divorced? Weren't they in the 30s?
I think they were in the 30s, yeah. And the rest.
No, but the line's always, the
Drop
line
bear
from Daisy is
lasagna?
always eyes above the neckline, gentlemen.
I don't know, do you want roux for breakfast? Yeah. It's not a good memory.
Okay, I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was great. It was kind of bland.
And it's not, I'm usually not that squirmish. I know a lot of cute cows, and I don't worry about eating a hamburger. I don't know. It just was too weird, I guess. You need to
Yeah,
find
I
a
think you
wild
psyched
one.
yourself up against it before
I
you
maybe
had it.
did. It really undoubtedly
Somebody
was
needs to trick you into
psychological.
having it, tell you
Although I
it's a
did
steak.
try it, and
Yeah, you did.
and the meat, could have tasted good.
I think you were worked up like, this is kangaroo. I'm trying it, but it's kangaroo.
Yeah, I'd have been here earlier. But I ran into Amy. Oops. You think I talk a lot. And then we're still very icy there, so I had to go find the new. I knew there was another thing of ice
Right.
salt out there, so I grabbed it because it could be icy tomorrow.
Okay.
So it
Well, I
might
don't
be a
think we're
thing.
going anywhere tomorrow.
I want to go shopping. Grocery shopping. Sunday I'll go to the meat market.
See, I didn't think the roux tasted gamey. I thought it was just when we had kangaroo, it was just bland. But Ari said we needed a thicker steak and it needed to be prepared a better way.
he didn't think it was as good. You didn't season it as much as the steaks.
Well, there
Hey,
you
your
go.
steaks were very good already. Mind you, you threw away most of your
It's healthier than
seasons,
beef.
so-
Well, yeah, because it's leaner.
Right, it's leaner. Which is probably
But
why we
healthier,
don't like it as much.
healthier doesn't sway me.
Speaking of, do you want to go to Red Robin for dinner?
Golly, that's not what I was thinking.
What are you thinking?
I don't know, but that's not what I was thinking.
Okay.
Oh, lovely Joyce, what are
Oh,
you shopping for?
grocery shopping. I do that on Saturdays. Here in America, we have big refrigerators and freezers. So
Joyce
we
is
shop once a
the
week.
anti-female stereotype.
It's true.
She does not like shopping, especially the stereotyped women
Like
shopping
clothes
for clothes and
gadgets
shoes and stuff like that.
No, I don't like it at all.
She doesn't like shopping at all. She's got Scottish blood in her.
Yep, I do.
And we've had to talk to our
Well,
Scottish
that's what you said,
friends
Artie.
to see if it's a legitimate stereotype, and they've told us yes. But she has got Scottish blood in her. She's a penny pincher.
One of us has to be.
No.
Yes. We'd be in the poorhouse. You love shopping with me? Why did you like shopping with me, Artie? Yeah, I get that. I used to shop on Sundays, and I moved it to Saturday, so I have Sunday freer.
She doesn't like to go out through the week. And I've
Well,
told her, I'm retired. I can
well-
do it.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a little
But
controlling. I
that's
think.
it is she has to do the grocery shopping.
Yeah, in and out, no fussing. Yep, you got that right.
I was like, give me the list and I'll get it. But she knows I'll pick up extra stuff.
He will. Yeah, we'd have a lot more cheese in here for one thing.
I'll always go
Yeah,
to her,
you
bring
enjoy
home-
shopping
She'll
for
bring
trains.
home 2 cheeses, I'll bring home 6.
Yep, that's the truth. Oh, maybe it's a Yorkshire thing, huh?
I don't know that I love going into train shops and seeing if they have something I'm
Oh,
interested in. I love seeing the
you
models, but yeah.
always like to shop. You'll
Yeah.
shop anywhere. You just take an hour trying to find what you want.
At a train shop, yeah. At a hobby store, well, game toy store. I like window shopping. I don't necessarily have to buy, but I do like window shopping. But if I
Yeah.
do see something I want, I will.
Well, we didn't shop with a list. I have a list, aisle by aisle list. Although I haven't been using it lately because we don't buy as much as we used to.
She has a very itemized list and of the things we
do.
get in each
So
aisle.
that now I'm just
so
using
the different pasta sauces.
Yeah,
like
I
I need
have
tomato
it. I
sauce.
haven't
I
been-
need chili sauce. I need.
Haven't been using that, but I do put it on a piece of paper and then I organize it to the order I go through the store. So anyway, that's kind of chocolate and snacks and not a lot of food. Yeah. You pair of Cornish pasty shoes. I think we're gonna have to Google that, Andy. What the
If
hell are Cornish pasty
like Joyce
shoes?
will sometimes ask me to go with her while she's clothes shopping, which I dread because she will pick out some things that make me go, "What the hell? Are you 92 years old from Florida?" And then I will go over and pick something out and say,
It's
"This."
bad. I hate shopping.
And I will. She makes me go because she hates it.
I
But then
hate
I have to watch her try on all these things, and I'm just like, no, No. And then I'll go pick something out
When
for
we
give it to
went shopping for AJ, I tried AJ's wedding. I tried like 15 dresses on, and you picked all of them.
Yeah, and each one was, yes, but you needed the next size up and they
That
didn't
makes
have
right,
it.
Vic,
That
yeah.
was it. Each dress was a winner. And the dresses that you look best in, I picked out. Because, gee, who's going to be the best judge of how good she looks in something?
Hey, you're not biased.
I'm not a woman who might be competitive, like, oh, yeah, that looks fine on you, thank God, so I can wear mine and look better. I'm like, I want her to look great. So, yeah, get that dress. You look great. So if you go, like, you go and to the picture of Joyce and me together from our son's wedding in October of
Yeah, that makes
2023,
sense.
I picked that dress out for
Over
her.
the summer, I shop on Friday since you get double fuel points.
Right, you were shopping on Friday over the
Which
summer.
I'll do again.
Yeah.
Check them out at Clark's. Okay.
What's that? What's he asking you to check out?
Oh, those aren't bad looking.
80 pounds, so 100 and some
Yeah,
dollars.
but it's
well, about
leather.
$100.
It's leather, so that makes sense. Oops, I lost you.
Go to the very first one. Yeah. It opened
Well,
that
then I
window
think it was-
separately.
Yeah, that's fine. Oops.
Just click on the chat bar. Okay, there's
Yeah, it's
There's
fine. No, those are fine looking shoes. I don't know why you called them pasty. Whatever you did.
I don't mind shopping, and I do enjoy, like, especially toy shopping, Christmas shopping. I do like train shopping. I like window shopping. I'll go in. I don't like clothes shopping.
More sales on Sunday nights. They have a strange scene. Okay.
But see, Joyce has bad feet. How else do we
I
want
do
to
have
describe
bad
it?
feet.
She has to wear orthotics, special inserts in her shoes, so like she can't really wear high heels.
I don't know. No, I really can't.
She will suffer through high heels for short special events where she has to dress formal. But boy, she can't wait
Those
to get out of
ain't even
them.
in my size.
What?
It's not British, is it?
Well, those are UK sizes, aren't they?
Oh, I figured I was big in UK. Oh, I see. Okay. Now I'm with you.
So she needs to wear flats most of the time, and they need to be able to fit her orthotics in.
Yeah, I've got quite a curve. Oh, 17-year-old daughter. Oh, that's horrible. Good golly, I hated shopping with the teenagers.
You're tough enough to buy for you taking your kids.
It was, such a relief when they got old enough and could drive and could buy their own clothes.
Go buy your own stuff.
It was horrible.
And they rarely wore things where like, no, you can't go out like
That's
that.
good,
if ever.
Andy. Yeah, they look good.
Our kids were never into a certain fashion. We're like, absolutely not. There were some things we might advise on, or don't you want to wear something
how
a
about
little?
this? How about this? No.
Yeah,
Elizabeth was the worst.
Liz
Ow.
was the worst. Yeah. How about this? No, I don't like it. How
Well,
about
Lee,
this?
find your style, and we'll go with your style. But I don't know what your style is.
But yeah, Liz didn't want to pick her out her own style, and she didn't like what
She
we picked out.
eventually did.
She eventually found her style. Yeah.
Lynn was more polite about it.
But no, I never had that. You are my daughter, and you're not wearing that
Yeah,
out in public.
fine.
I never had that. Or my son. But our youngest is 29, so. Oh, there you go, Cornish pasties.
Oh, that looks good.
You don't know what's inside.
It's true, you don't. Okay, filling. Beef skirt, potato, turnip. Yeah.
Oh my God, turnips.
Onion.
Bleh. Onion.
Yeah,
Bleh.
everything's all right except for the.
Until you got to the onion. Yeah, everything else is
to
good.
the beets.
Why do you keep opening that up?
I don't know why it's opening up. I just click on it and it
You're
gets
clicking
excited.
on somebody's name.
That could be.
You're not quite clicking on what you need to click on.
Get your money for the bus. That's funny. I really would have liked to have done that too. Just give her cash. Call when you're done.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's
Well,
awful.
again, we can
It's
all
just
debate.
awful.
Nothing beats a Cornish pasty. I can think of a lot of things that would
And
beat a
our
Cornish pasty,
son,
but that's... wow, it's almost that time.
yeah, I was late. I was trying not to be. Yeah, so, I don't know. And the meat
Shrimp.
pies
I
weren't
don't like
bad. I
shrimp.
don't know that we can get meat. You like shrimp if they're breaded and deep fried, I thought.
No, I used to before I met you. And then I got sick
I
one
thought I'd
time,
seen
and
you
I've
with
never
shrimp.
been able to eat shrimp
Okie dokie.
since. You've never seen me eat
I don't
shrimp in your
know
life.
that we could find meat pies anywhere in Toledo.
Yeah, you can.
Can we?
Yep.
Okay.
You have a couple of places. In fact, every now and then Kroger gets them.
No.
And the meat market can get them.
I'm gonna look. I've never noticed them.
Mhm.
But I'll be honest, I don't really look for them.
You're not looking for them.
Yeah,
no.
right. But now I've got my eyes out for them, see if we can find one. Because we thought the meat pies were okay. I like the ones that have a little more gravy in them, to be honest. Oh, you don't have anything up here, do you? I keep opening up windows. I had so many windows open on my school computer the other day. They, you couldn't read them anymore. But I don't know who
What's
these are
wrong with
going
shrimp?
on.
I don't like shrimp.
He got sick on shrimp once, that's why.
When I was a kid, I got sick on
Yeah.
shrimp, and I've never been able to eat it since. I don't like seafood.
Yeah, he's not a seafood person at all.
I don't like any seafood.
Although breaded and deep fried, it has a little bit of a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat British fish and chips if it's a white fish deep fried, where it's battered. Not even breaded, battered deep fried. I will eat it. Like McDonald's
Yeah,
square fish
you gotta
sandwiches,
watch
I can
'em.
eat those, but that's not really eating fish, is it?
There were Aussie 4 and 20 meat pies. They exported them to the U.S.
I had a steak and ale pie that I really liked
Yeah,
a couple
we
of times
did.
in the UK.
Yeah, same place.
I did love the steak and ale pies I had. Now, was that a chain
Cornish
restaurant?
pastry had a savory end and a sweet end, so it was a complete meal. Nice.
Oh, interesting. That sounds cool.
Seafood and eat it.
Battery's going to die. So yeah, we're getting ready to do our log off
Yeah.
here because it is getting on. It is 6 o'clock here. So yeah, it is our time to end another Friday stream.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I understand that.
So
I noticed that. I wasn't going to say anything. Battery's going to die. All right, Mara, thanks for coming in.
all right, for all of you who came and watched and either have stayed or left, whatever.
Or
we
might
wanna
watch
thank you
later.
all, or all of you who watch later. We want to
Yeah.
thank you all for tuning in. It's another Friday, 3 hours come and gone already. It's been a crazy week. Hopefully next week is a little calmer for everybody, but especially
Hopefully.
here. I'm not having another surgery, so
Yes, that helps.
I'm still, like I said, I think some of the anesthetic.
now I think
I'm
I'm-
struggling remembering
Now I think
certain
I'm
people's
bitter.
names.
Everybody got Thursday
Where I
off.
normally know their names. Now you're bitter everybody got Thursday off? Why do you
I
care? You
am.
had it off one way or the other, and it saved you in a
Critical
emergency day.
illness day.
A critical illness day,
It's
yes.
good unless somebody breaks something.
So anyhow, on that, please hit the like. Please gently depress the thumbs up icon on your window or picture, your phone,
Violence.
tablet, whatever you're watching on,
Mhm.
as you leave. And we will see you here again next Friday.
Hopefully.
You guys are awesome.
Yep.
You that come and stay and just hang out with us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to thank you all. It's awesome. So until we see you again, we're going to say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains. Take care, everybody.
Bye.